This is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update with Tom Sullivan, exclusively on ASBN.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Shyann Malone. Thanks for tuning in to the U.S. Chamber Small Business Update. Today we're discussing the significance of Black History Month for small businesses and also insights into the economic outlook for 2024 as a whole. Joining us now, we have Tom Sullivan, the Vice President of Small Business Policy at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Tom. Good to see you again.
Great to see you again, Shyann. Thank you for having me.
So talk to us about the Chamber of Commerce and how it participates in recognizing and celebrating Black History Month.
Well, thank you. So Black History Month gives us the opportunity to highlight the best of the best when it comes to Black-owned business. And as an example, as you know, America's top small business award winner for this past year is a Black-owned business, Lillian Werbin, who's been on your show.
Yes.
Actually owns Elderly Instruments in Lansing, Michigan. And so we take Black History Month as an opportunity to tell her story. I mean, Lillian, who is an amazing business owner, multi-generation business selling musical instruments in the local community, but now all over the world. We're able to tell her story on a world stage through the platform of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And it's our hope that telling Lillian's story motivates other Black entrepreneurs to be as successful as Lillian has been. Now, it's not all sunshine and roses. I mean, Lillian has been through tough times like all of us have, but her example really is inspiring for other entrepreneurs. And another great example are TJ and Hadley Douglas. They also won the top small business award at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce a few years ago. They used the $25,000 award to actually launch a new business called the Progressive Wine Company. And they are dedicated to bringing the vintner industry into the Black-owned business world. They see that there is a lack of Blacks in the vintner industry, and they're taking it upon themselves to solve that problem. And so they have two cohorts of students who are going through a year-long program learning about wine, and they just opened up a wine shop in Washington, D.C. They were based in Boston when they won the National Small Business Award, and then they just expanded. And you can imagine, Shyann, how difficult it is to open up a liquor, a wine store in another state. And so they have overcome that hurdle. Last I checked, because I have shopped there frequently, they're doing really, really well. It's been a lot of fun to celebrate their opening. And now Black History Month allows for us to tell their story as well to inspire other Black entrepreneurs.
I like it. I love it. Maybe we need some samples next time we do an interview.
Oh yeah. Well, when you visit, we'll do a field trip to Urban Grape when you visit Washington.
Done and done. On a serious note, though, Tom, any special initiatives or events or programs or anything that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is doing this month or promoting?
Well, so first of all, we are certainly amplifying both Lillian's story, TJ and Hadley's story, and dozens of other stories in the hopes that inspire other Black entrepreneurs to take that leap. And we're also partnering with some of our larger members who are doing surveys and telling us how successful Black entrepreneurs are. One of those is Intuit QuickBooks that just came out with the Black History Month survey where they surveyed 2,000 Black small business owners. So the results were great. And they showed that the support for Black-owned businesses is actually 56% more in 2023 than it was after the George Floyd murder. So you see an increased attention, increased support that Black-owned businesses feel. But what I thought was really a great testament of the Black-owned business community is that 96% of Black-owned businesses patronize other Black-owned businesses. So if you see the broad population supporting at a 56 level, but then you see the Black community supporting themselves at 96%, I think it's a reasonable goal to try to close that difference. So we've got a little ways to go for that.
And, how do you suggest that, right? How can small businesses outside of the Black culture even demonstrate that, right? That awareness, and not just during, February as Black History Month, but just in the day-to-day operations?
Well, part of Intuit QuickBooks survey actually answers that question, Cheyenne. And that is that 54% of Black-owned business owners were fearful that there be a stigma associated with being Black that would harm their chances of being successful.
Wow.
So that is this barrier to entrepreneurship that we just don't think about. And this idea of saying, when you patronize a Black-owned small business, not only are you getting a great product or service, but you're also overcoming that stigma where a Black entrepreneur says, geez, maybe I can't start a business because I'm Black. We've got to get over that stigma. And the more people who realize that Black-owned businesses provide top quality products and services, the easier it will be to get past that type of thought that prevents many entrepreneurs from taking that leap.
And you can see it's heading in that direction, at least through that survey from Intuit. Overall, as we look forward, what is your prediction on the economic outlook for small businesses as a whole in 2024?
Well, as you know, Cheyenne, we survey small businesses with our partners MetLife every quarter, and we see that 64% of small businesses are actually really comfortable with their cash flow right now. So that bodes well for this year, for 2024. What we also saw in other data are that small businesses tightened their belts throughout 2023. And at the end of the year, they looked at their books, and guess what? They found out that belt tightening actually worked. So they saw record revenues at the end of last year. That allows for them to launch into 2024 doing pretty well. And I think the reason that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is bullish on small business for 2024 is that we are still experiencing record high startups from applications to start businesses. So the last 4 years, we've seen all-time highs in applications for new businesses. I think that bodes well for Main Street across America.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye, Tom?
Well, mostly just a thank you for highlighting Lillian Werbin and Elderly Instruments when she won America's Top Small Business Award this past year. So thank you for really just providing an amazing launching pad for her success. And we're hoping that a continued amplification of her story will allow other Black entrepreneurs to take that leap into small business ownership.
A certainly inspiring story for sure.
Indeed.
Tom Sullivan, thank you so much, Vice President of Small Business Policy at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And thank all of you for watching the U.S. Chamber Small Business Update exclusively right here on ASBN.com and now streaming on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Until next time, Tom.
Thank you, Shyann.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update with Tom Sullivan.